This is an anti-hate video response to Sabot96. His video is called Destini's Brainwashing, and in his video he is just attacking Destiny pretty much, and not having actually investigated what we say, and without actually having apply what we suggest everybody to apply. He's just projecting his own ego and bullshit and perception about reality and how things work. So I'm just going to go through a few things he said. So pretty much in the beginning of his video he says that man has a desire to know how the world works, why it exists. Why is there hardship in the world? Why do some people have a lot and why do some people have a little bit? Now, right from the beginning, we can see that this person hasn't even realized the basic stuff about this world. In the sense that when he says, why is there hardship in the world and why do some people have a lot and why do some people have a little bit? Well, the answer to this question is very simple. It's because we make it so. Like I've heard Bob Marley say on one of his songs, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. There is so much abundance in this world, and this is another thing that he says, that this world is scarcity, that life is scarcity, which is absolute nonsense. Because if it was scarcity, life wouldn't exist. It would have just disappeared. And since life originated on this earth, for whatever reason, life has been, let's say, evolving, has been growing, more and more species, etc. So life is not a scarcity. It seems like this guy has been scared in his city and now he's projecting his fear onto everything he sees around himself without actually investigating. For example, why is there so much hardship in this world? Why is there so much hardship in this world? Well, it's because of the money system. If we consider just the human existence, and considering that there is more than enough for everybody on this earth, for everybody to be fed, for everybody to be well taken care of, this hardship has no justification. This hardship exists because we created it. Some people have a lot and some people have a little bit according to the system, because of the system that we've created. These points are very simple, and this person deeming itself as being scientifical, if we see in the end of his video, he says that we should look into science and we have theories and then we put the theories into application. Obviously, that this person hasn't done what this person is suggesting, is saying for everybody to do. Because here at Destiny, we are giving you a theory. And the theory, you can test it for yourself and find out that the theory is it's actually a reality. It's actually the truth. It's actually what it is and not just a theory. So interesting that this person that is telling everybody to apply the scientific method is not actually applying it within what we suggest. He says that he's telling about Destiny that, now I'm quoting, they are quite clear that they are trying to change the way you think, and not just change it a little bit, they are trying to completely erase who you are. Now if we look at this statement, this is not at all accurate, because if we look at our existence, how we have created ourselves, it is the result of our environment. It is a result of the country and the culture and the religion that we are taught, and the country that we live in, the culture that involves us and that we become part of. So within this, we are actually not unique, because we are just following what was already created in the past, and we're just copying it. We have become a program. We have become programs of nationalities, of cultures, of religions, of groups, etc., etc. And within this, we keep on disregarding all the other groups, etc. In other words, within this, we keep on separating ourselves from everything. What we say at Destiny is that everything is equal and one. And this is not a theory. This is not, which is something that it seems he says that this principle is bogus, that it has no fact. When, I mean, if I just read you what probably this guy would deem as a very intelligent and, in a sense, enlightened person, if I just quote Albert Einstein for a second: a person experiences life as something separate from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of consciousness. Our task must be to free ourselves from this self-imposed prison, and through compassion to find the reality of oneness. Now, don't take what Destiny says, maybe just take what Einstein said. All is equal, and consciousness has been the point of our separation. This is Einstein saying, so please. So, it is actually not about erasing who we are, because who we are has never been expressed, has never been lived. The only thing that we're going to erase is that which we think, we believe, we perceive ourselves to be. And if we erase that, doesn't that indicate that whatever that we erased wasn't real? Because if it was real, it would stand. That is the process of Destiny, is realize yourself as who you really are, and within it, as you realize yourself as who you really are, then you're not gonna be able to erase that, because who you are then is who you are. That's real, and it can't change, it can't be erased, it can't be deleted. But we can delete our thoughts, we can delete our emotions, we can delete the stuff that we think and believe, if only you actually apply self-forgiveness. And that's another thing that he says, that essentially he's saying that self-forgiveness is bullshit. And which tells me one thing: this person hasn't actually even applied self-forgiveness. Because if you do apply self-forgiveness, then you will see who you really are, and you will see that self-forgiveness is the way for you to release yourself for the prison that you've created for yourself, as the mind, as your thoughts, as your emotions, as what you believe, etc. Another thing that this person is, let's say, defending, is that we must live and guide our lives according to our egos, essentially, according to our individuality, instead of principle. What I'm saying is that he criticizes Destiny because we say that we must live according to principle, and that it is the principle that we have to equalize ourselves with and stand as, if we are to actually change the world. Now, we say this because we have realized one very simple thing that everybody can see for themselves, is that the ego is the point of separation, and within, if you live your life according to all that you want, all that you desire, you will end up disregarding everything and everybody else. That is your mind. that is taking control over you. That's what we say that must be released through self-forgiveness. And obviously that if you're going to apply self-forgiveness, you must apply it from a certain perspective, and this perspective itself is equality and oneness. That is the principle of existence, and therefore this must be the principle that we live according to. It is as simple as this. If you can't understand this, you have a serious problem. Very serious problem. He goes on criticizing our suggestion of the equal money system to sort out the problems in this world. And obviously, again, no surprise here, he didn't properly investigate what we said, and obviously he doesn't know what money is about and what money is for. We say that there is enough on this earth. Everybody knows that there is enough on this earth. There's enough oxygen, there's enough water, there's enough sunlight. Within this, there's obviously enough food. There is enough for everybody, meaning there is enough for everybody's needs, not for everybody's greeds. Or should I say, there is not enough for the greed of just one person, but there is enough for everybody's needs. And this is the principle of the equal money system, is to make sure that everybody has what they need. It is about time we as humanity stop the bullshit that takes place on this earth, because it is unacceptable that millions of people every year die from starvation. Millions of people die from preventable diseases. Millions of people die in wars. Why the fuck are we fighting each other? Why? Because of money, because of greed, because of profit, because of our perception that we are separate from each other. That is why. So, the equal money system is based on the principle of equality, is based on the principle of this existence itself. And this is common sense. Meaning, this is the sense that is common to all. The sense that everybody, as a living organism, has certain requirements, has certain needs, and these needs must be met. This is common sense. Let's feed everybody. Common sense. Let's make sure everybody has a place to stay, to sleep on. This is common sense. Why is this common sense? Because if we are exposed to the environment, if we're exposed to the elements, we're gonna suffer and we're gonna probably die. So it is common sense to build a house. It is common sense to eat. It is common sense to have proper water. And it is common sense to take care of those that are suffering from a disease or a certain mental condition, whatever, because that is what we would like to receive. That is the common sense. And he says that there's nothing common about common sense, which obviously shows that this person has no common sense to even realize what common sense is. And goes on making this particular video saying that Desteni is brainwashed, when in fact this person has been brainwashed to such an extent that it has become impossible for this person to see the common sense in what we're saying.